ว่าจะคือปาลีก็ว่าตัวอย่างดัวตัวเป้รู้อีเวนต์นั่นนะรู้น้อยรู้ว่า historical event วิธีเขาเตรียมว่าจะตัวทัดเตตัวถ้าจะตัวชายุโรปเลยจะตีว่าแต่เชนเนสเลนตัวในรุ่นจับตัวตีเมื่อโปรเจกต์คุณเนี่ยจีจะถูยอดตัวรุ่งองค์การว่าโซอา ZOA นะตัวใช้ว่าจิ้วแต่เฉยหนึ่งตัวยังทัดเตจะเลยตัวเลยจิ้วตัวคุณเนี่ยจีเนาะไปตัวจีเลยต่อก้าวว่าก็แต่เลยไปเจ้าต่อเราโปรเจกต์ชงเนาะนะยัยเขาว่าจังจังหันตัวไปรู้เนาะว่าชอบก็ตัวอย่างดัวตัวไปใช่ไหมhọ tôi sẽ rồi cho để chính ra là bây giờ có bao nhiêu tôi cũng chỉ tao sai thế toàn thế nó chơi cụ sai thì cho lúa lấy lo tôi lấy uo nó chơi chờ mua nè giờ mua họ thì cho tất cả cụ chỉ cho nhau thay thế bây giờ mình đi chơi cụ sụt thiếu ó chơi nó và lúa nó chơi thế lúa thịt bê và cụ host và lúa reunion nào nè chơi tàu bê lúa chơi giàu hơn lại đấy chơi cho lúa lấy uo lấy cả yêu ba chơi mà ba sẽ cả cho lúa nó uốn chỉ chơi quý sao cả sao nó uốn chỉ nè cho họ thìว่าไปจีบอถึงนู้นตื่นไปตัวพงที่หมู่นะอย่างแต่ตรงนี้ว่าเราตามไปว่าช่วงพันกับเป็นเจ๊เสียใจรู้ว่าไว้ใช้ตัวเลยเส้นที่ปาตัวเลยแต่ไม่ตัวพงที่เป็นอย่างคนตัดขาแต่ตัวอยู่ขวาซ้ำอยู่ตัวป้าเป็นสตอว่าที่สิ่งที่หมู่เท่านั้นแล้วจากคนนี้เขาจังจังเอาไปสา keep track เอาไปจับพงที่แต่ว่าจะสนย่อหลีจ่ายย่อเขาถือผลเราก็ยังรงเรื่องที่หาหมู่เลยจะใช้เรื่องหมู่เลยนั่นนะเขาไหนเขาไปสาว่าจอกกาจากกู้พงที่นั่น
Very nice to be here. My name is Dr. André. We are here with 6 people from the Netherlands and we all worked in the Banvinay refugee camp. It was between 1983 and 1988. We were so happy to work there because we worked together with our Hmong friends, the medics and the nurses who were very ambitious, and we all worked together to improve the health and the well-being of the Hmong refugees. The camp life was not easy, it was difficult, but we tried to help the people to learn and to improve their lives. So we worked in the Banvinay refugee camp, in the hospital and in the community health centers, together with many Hmong medics, the workers in the laboratory, the workers with the dentist, the nurses, the community health centers, and we treated the many diseases. And we really worked very hard together, and the Hmong medics studied a lot to become the medics and to help their own people to improve their lives. We were so happy to do that. When we think back, it is the most important time of our own lives that we were able to work as young people in the Banvinay refugee camp together with our Hmong friends. It's so amazing. It feels like the circle is round. We learned about Laos in the past, then we learned and worked in Banvinay refugee camp, and now after 45 years we see our Hmong friends again and we see how they built their lives in USA. Great to see. We went to the Hmong market, we see that many people studied, became lawyers, became doctors. We are very happy to see how the Hmong people moved to USA and how they integrated and are doing well in USA.
Cú nhớ tới chờ thái tôi nè, cú lúc bé hùa vạn mình, ta chỉ cú lúc bé thấu hùa lúc bé lùa hùa chát tuổi, cú yếm mông cha, cú lò ba uống lử cho hậu chế không mò, cú nhớ cho hậu hông đến thổ, chế cú xong ít sáng cho bùa cho chỗ ý, cho rồi xong ít sáng cho bùa cho chỗ bé, chế tỏ cá và lú sùn vĩ này trâu cơ, chế bé trời không cần một trâu hậu sùn. Ban nạp hồ, chế giờ cũng một hông lử trâu ra tàu xong ít sáng cho bùa cho chỗ bé cho chỗ bao, chế bé tới tàu tờ, họ lú sùn họ chỉ mua chơi một thì bé tới tàu tờ là mua nên thái rồi, chế thì nó cũng nhớ trâu lú rò bà kia sáng phải giàu, nó cũng tôi bỏ cháu không cho gì sẽ được cho cháu cũng chỉnh xã hay thì tu sửa ở nhà của chỉ tua vấn đề cho họ thì bé lại chùa xây bé tôi nhớ rồi tới chơi vạn mình thì bé cho bé mình tôi nhiều tôi cái chỗ cái gì nhớ cho tới chơi nó là chỉ còn nói họ và cũng ta chỉ họ cũng dùng sửa thì cũng tàu tuần chỉ cho phong như thì tôi cho lên cho tụ họ cũng dùng sửa chấp lại.
Cô hai apelo lo mình cả vấn đề cái cô mà lý hai apelo lo mong shit số ni sao sao lý cả tháo ra lúc gì nữa. It is with an honor and pleasure to welcome everyone today to our event. Thank you for taking your time to join us this evening. We are so honored to have all of our distinguished guests, speakers, and attendants with us tonight. We hope today's program will be informative, inspiring, and enjoyable. My name is Wendy, and my mom name is Mai Chua, along with my co-MC, Cậu Linh Gia. We have the privilege in serving us as your MC or Master of Ceremony. So let's begin the program. The first person I will be calling is Gahua Ya. Gahua is also one of the hosts of this event. Please help me welcome Gahua and Gahua's spouse to the stage or the podium.
I would like to ask for an apology for my broken English. Sometimes I may speak English. Sometimes I may mix some French word or Thai word or Laotian word, but I apologize for my speaking today. Thank you, honorable guests, dignitary, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, all my friends, my colleagues, for trusting me to speak on our behalf, to officially welcome our friends from overseas and from across the nation. Our Hmong friend, Caucasian friend, everybody, and officially open this reunion. This is the 4th reunion. It is truly an honor for me. Before I continue, I would like for all of the planning committee to stand up so that you may know how hard we work and then who we are. Some you may know, some you may not know. So all of the committee, planning committee, please stand up. Thank you. You may be seated. Okay. Our committee, colleague, and friend, this reunion is very important, and it is the rare kind of gathering today. On behalf of the planning committee, I can assure you all that this is not political gathering by any means. As a person, we cross paths of each other in many respects. For example, we cross paths during we work. We cross paths during we go to school or training, so on and so forth. But for this gathering, we cross paths because of our work and because of the opportunity that other people help us during we are in need. We are refugees at that time. Each of us would know that time is running out because we know today and we knew yesterday, but we don't know tomorrow what it will take, what it will bring. That's why this reunion gathering here is very important in that aspect. We never think or we never imagine that after we left Thailand, settle in the third country, we will meet again. Some that we never meet again is true statement because their lives too short. But some of our people, we are very lucky to be alive. That's why this reunion is very important, so that we can meet each other again. I myself never think of will meet each of you, some of you, again in my life. But today, the reality, the dream, seems to be coming true. As you know, we are coming here today. Many of our friends are not here with us. And then we left Thailand, we never seen them again. For example, Vang Tu Li, Chang Jae, Tu Xiong Lo, Vang Jing, Li Po Xiong, and many other people who has passed. And it is sad moments for us, for you, for everybody, because they are no longer with us. They are our friends, but they are not here. This reunion couldn't be the last one. That's why it's important for you, for me, to spend time to catch up, to meet with your friend before it's too late. We don't know that the next day or after this reunion we'll make another one, or this is the last one. So today gathering is so special in this aspect, as we don't know we'll have another one or not. Beyond that, this gathering, it is more than a reunion by itself. Why this is more than a reunion? Our people would like to take this opportunity on behalf of the people who are working with you, who are not working with you, or on behalf of the entire Hmong community. We would like to take this opportunity to renew our friendship with the people that had helped us during we have difficulty in the camp. We don't know our future. Our future is uncertainty. And you help us regardless. You help us, you do not expect anything in return. We would like to take this opportunity to renew our friendship with you, so that you know that what you do, when you work for us, when you help us, was not going to waste in Thailand. And then we would like to take this opportunity to hold on to our friendship. Even we don't have a country, but we are a group of people that you help us. We will continue to tell this story to our children, to our loved ones who did not experience the help that you gave to us in Ban Vinai, or who do not know that your work at that time, how important that was, so that everybody would recognize, will continue to hold on to the friendship that you gave to us. On behalf of the Hmong people, we want you to know that your help to our people is very important. You treat our sick patient, you give the education to our people to know basic skill to treat ourselves. That is given and put opportunity for our people to come to this country. We know what to begin from, what we have left at Ban Vinai, or what we have learned at Ban Vinai because of you. With that, the organization, ZOA, will be in our hearts, will be in our story, will be in our mind. We will never forget that. And we take this opportunity to say thank you, appreciate your help. And then now we are here today. If there is anything we can do, maybe not to help you again, but if you think we can do anything to help other people who's in need, we will be happy to do that in return because of your help. For this reason, I would like to ask everybody to give a round of applause for the appreciation of the ZOA organization, your people, your sacrifice, and your energy to help our people while we are in the camp. So please give a round of applause. As I said above, this event, this gathering, is on behalf of the Hmong people to renew our friendship. But without the certain people, without the planning committee, without the sponsor helping from the community, this event is not possible. So I would like to take this opportunity to recognize the organization, the business, the individual who had contributed financial to help this gathering so it's possible for us to meet again today. The first one here is Cultural Home Care. Number 2, Hmong Village. Number 3, Pan Asia Market Center. The next one is more tropical fruit. The next one is Mountain Market. This one is located in Milwaukee. And many individuals who contributed funding to this gathering. That's why it's possible for us to meet again. Next, this whole rental is also one of the sponsors. They did not charge us anything. What is charging is only the food. The whole rental is also going toward the sponsorship. So thank you so much for Unison Restaurant for your sponsorship. Many food, snack, drink, supply, everything they donate by individual. We also would like to take this opportunity to thank them, each of them, and for the business. I encourage our people, if you have opportunity, you are in need, please go and support them. They will continue to help our community the way they help us today in the future. Thank you very much for all of the sponsors that gave us the funding, advice, everything. With that, I would like to take this opportunity to ask that God bless the business so that the business will grow, continue to be strong, and the next time we ask for help, they couldn't help us more than what they do today. In conclusion, I would like to take this opportunity to thank the planning committee. I know how hard that is, how time-consuming that is, but your time, your knowledge, your effort will not go to waste. You make this gathering possible because of your hard work as planning committee. I also would like to ask that you forgive our planning committee in case we miss something, in case we do what we do, but it's not your expectation. I ask for your apology for that, and then please give us your feedback. I hope this will not be the last reunion. However, who knows? But if we have another gathering, not necessary to be a reunion, we will learn from our mistake if there is one that we can learn from. So I ask that you give us the feedback that you think it will help us improve in our future event. I also would like to ask for God for blessing that the food that we eat today won't be a medicine for you and for me, so that we continue with good health. The water that we drink today won't be a strong chemical to treat our mind, so that we love, we united, and we have energy to love each other more than we did in the past. I would like to ask that everybody, you come here, you have a good time, you will be missed, and then if anyone, Hmong people, non-Hmong people, before you leave, please let our host know that you are leaving. Otherwise, I expect everybody to be in this room. And I hope to see you again soon, somewhere, somehow, and sometime. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I would like to clarify a few things. When you look at the back of the program, of the sponsors name listed in there, at the time that we printed, not everyone is not recorded, but there are more than what's written in there. So I do thank all of those people who donate time, money to support this program. To a lot of people, maybe this is not a big deal, but to our group, the planning committee, we worked so hard for almost 2 years. And we come up with this. So Gao Hua and many other people already mentioned, I was actually I'm the host of a reunion. This is the third time. The first time was 2010. The second time was 2023, a few years ago. But 2023, Gao Hua and I will both chair the reunion. This is my third time. I think I'm over 60 now, and I should retire from this, because we make a demand that anyone who joins this planning committee, automatically $500 in there to start up fund. In the business world, they said you have to use money to make money, right? So we have to use those money to get some more money. And when you're retired, even though $500 is a lot. So I'm pretty sure no one wants to say anything, but they would agree with me about that. So I hope that the younger generations, because I'm the second group of in the medic course, and I heard that there are many after that until 1992 or something like that. So I'm pretty sure that someone will step up to the plate and take over this planning committee and your reunion, so I can come next time and relax, and I can sleep until the night before the reunion. So that's my my speech or my spiel for this, and I'm glad that I see many of you guys that I never thought I would see again. And later on, I will say a few words about those people, but I will save it for later. Okay, thank you.
Wow. I have to say that I came here tonight. I wasn't expecting such a powerful speech, meeting wonderful people that are important in our life. But once again, as I watched the video with all of you, It was a wonderful presentation, Du Feng. You have done a beautiful, beautiful job. I sincerely appreciate all the contribute from everyone who have put this program together. And I was also very excited and I was so inspired by Gahua's speech that I totally forgot to do partial of my job is to recognize and acknowledge all the hard work and the wonderful speech that Gahua had gave. So let's give another round of applause to Gahua and also for Du Feng. So with that being said, let's continue with our program. We still have many more speakers and many more things on our agenda to finish tonight. So let me introduce you to our next guest speaker. The next guest speaker, please help me welcome Dr. Andrew Van, if I pronounce your last name correctly, apologize. And he's from the organization called Zawa. Please welcome to the podium.
Nyajum. Dear Hmong friends, not only on behalf of ZOA, I dare to say on behalf of all the Farang, the long noses, who work with you in Banfinai refugee camp. We came with 8 people from the Netherlands, but I saw not only 5, no, even 6 people from the US, from the States. So we are very, very happy, very excited that we can be here. Probably more than you can imagine, because it is like closing a circle. It's great to be here at the Hmong reunion, and we hope to be able to share again with you tomorrow at the Hmong Freedom Festival. Yesterday we had an opportunity to visit the Hmong market, and it was great. It felt like we were visiting the market in the refugee camp and the markets in Thailand. Thanks to the organizers, especially to the whole planning committee and Lorfong for your excellent communications. And you started so early. What that means is that we have refreshed our memories about a very, very special time that we experienced all together in Banfinai. By now, 40 to 45 years ago. From some people I can't see the changes in their face, but from some people it's very clear that they grew a little bit older. Great to be with you again. And then, here, being in Minnesota, many Dutch people never knew about Minnesota, but since a few months, since about 6 months, everybody knows where Minnesota is, what state it is in USA. We know it can be ice and ice cold in Minnesota. In my brain, this picture is imprinted of this Hmong man, Chong Lee Tao, who was arrested and dragged from his St. Paul home, only clad in a blue boxer short during that freezing temperature. And it looked very much like someone coming from the Banfinai houses. It is the picture that stays in my mind. But as a Dutch, I will definitely not discuss politics here. So today we feel the warmth of the summertime, and more importantly, the warmth of being with you all together. It's like friendship coming back. Hmong, when we think about Hmong, you are always a very special people in our memories. I really, and that's not flattering, when I think about Hmong people, I always think about the strong people, proud, independent, a very strong social cohesion, also using the wisdom of the elderly and the past generations. And many people always eager to develop intellectually, to study more and to advance your careers. During our night calls in the Ban Vinai hospital, you shared, you confided such impressive, but also sometimes the sad stories about your lives in Laos. The beauty, you told about the beauty of the villages and the hills, but also about the hardships in Xiangguang and Plongcheng. You told about the dangerous journey through the jungle and the crossing of the Mekong River, which was so difficult for the elderly people or for the young children. A very strange coincidence reminded me often of your experiences, because in my later job with the company, I often visited Saigon every year, South Vietnam, and my colleagues there would always point to a place outside our office, outside the headquarters, say, Andre, that plateau, that platform, that is where the last helicopter left South Vietnam on April 29, 1975. In fact, that's the moment that also your trouble started, because you knew of that time that you were not safe under Pathet Lao and Viet Minh. It's a picture we saw later again when we saw the airplanes, the US airplanes leaving Kabul airport a few years ago. So apologize, you gave me the opportunity to speak. I will use some of your time. Because there are so many memories. When you start to think about our time together, there are so many memories, good memories, bad memories, funny memories, coming back to our minds during the time we worked together in the Ban Vinai refugee camp. It's mostly between 1980 and 1988, 1990 that we shared our work together. We were there 1984, 1988. Many, many good memories. Your drive to study English and to follow the nursing classes, the midwife classes, the laboratory classes, the medic classes, hard work, excellent study, nighttime, not easy in the places where you lived, but ongoing study. We loved the graduation ceremonies because that's where you got your achievements, OPD, IPD, midwife, the graduation ceremonies. But the dedication of the healthcare workers to improve the lives of so many people in Ban Vinai refugee camp. The great work you did in the community health centers. We saw these beautiful pictures yesterday at Ban Vinai market, and there we recognize Center 9-5, Center 2-4, all the memories come back. The tender loving care given in the leprosy camp, Sister Pierre Coer, or the School of the Deaf, Jonathan, we will never forget. The wisdom of the elderly. I strongly remember strong Father Nia and the clan leaders when we faced difficulties and we needed help. For instance, to increase the acceptance of vaccinations. I remember your honesty and integrity. Sometimes you would come and say, we need medicines for Chow Pha, and our resistance fighters. And I liked it so much that you were open about it and that you shared that with us. We were also welcomed at your homes in your name-giving ceremonies, special time. Your beautiful celebrations, playing Papa during Hmong New Year, we will never forget. The knowledge of the herbalists, also nice to see yesterday that the herbalists were still present in the big Hmong market. People going out up into the hills, picking the herbs and helping also to treat the curable diseases with the Hmong herbal medicine. Personally, we were living for some time in the bamboo hut near the hospital. I remember that day in May when suddenly 40 people were standing in front of our little house because the May beetles were coming and you could pick the beetles and eat them. And that was a great time to, and the care of the Hmong mothers. We got 2 children in Ban Vinai refugee camp, and when Wen was working in the hospital, the Hmong mothers would take care of our children. It was great to think back about that time. And we will also never forget the delicious mangoes, the som tam and the fried chicken that we bought at the Hmong market near the blacksmiths. It's still clear in the mind. But of course, there are also the more troublesome and less romantic memories. You were so used to a clean environment in Laos, and here you had to deal with hardships, with dirt, with the mud, with the rats and the cockroaches. And of course, this caused also the diseases that you treated, like the dysentery or the typhoid. And also the babies with neonatal tetanus, which we knew it could be so easily prevented with one vaccination during the pregnancy, but people were so afraid of it. But we will not forget, but also the work you did, treating 24 times a day, giving medicines. The dengue fever and the malaria due to the mosquitoes breeding in the pools of water. Also said the young children, there was a period where the young children had beriberi, many young children got beriberi due to the poor quality of rice. We will never forget the difficulty of providing a blood transfusion after, for instance, serious blood loss after a pregnancy. It was so difficult to get it arranged. Maybe you don't want to talk too much about the sad stories, but also the suicides. We will not forget, particularly the young girls. And we had these periods where it started with paraquat, or then paration, or then it was a period with chloroquine, or opium, or the silver polish. We did not know immediately what it was, and then we learned it was cyanide. What a sad stories. Also, we will never forget the night calls and hearing the drums at night, but also the booing of the cows that were prepared for slaughter. I will not forget the night that a Hmong man was killed in the hospital because he was considered a traitor. I learned how you can do swearing, and he was called "you eater of a dog." I don't know whether you still have that expression, but that time I learned it was about the worst words that you could give to someone. You eater of a dog. He had been on the wrong side working with the Vietnamese. Also a sad story, the jail we were allowed to visit to give medical care, the jail in near Pak Chong. It looked more like a stable, like a cow stable. We remember the volunteers of Catholic Relief Services. They drove just a kilometer ahead of us, and they were shot and killed during a robbery while driving just in front of us during their payday. And maybe some of you remember that there was one morning and I had a night duty, a night call, and I entered the camp in the morning, on a Sunday morning, and there was a terrible silence in the camp. It was March 15, 1987, because then the Thai soldiers, they were searching for illegal immigrants, and people were terribly frightened. Hiding, maybe you remember that people were even hiding in the aluminum water tanks. That memory came back to me very much when we saw this thing happening in Minnesota with ice. Also some funny ones. The day it had been raining a lot, and I fell in the mud. I had white clothes. I was completely colored red, and I thought some people would help, but they all started laughing. I never forget. The day we were told by MOI that there were 2 small restaurants, and a very nice Thai restaurant to eat the kaniao, the kapat, but another restaurant said, don't go there anymore because they don't prepare the chicken, they prepare the rat. By the way, the rat was quite nice, but they told us not to eat the rats anymore. A funny one, we had to resolve a little fight. We had a very nice old lady doctor, Dr. Lois, but she had said, and maybe you are here, she had said to a medic, "Hey guy," and the medic came and she said, "Hey gay," and he was so angry, and we had to resolve the issue. That was a language problem, we couldn't help. We will also not forget, and we will remember the very difficult choices you had to make. Preparing to go back to Laos or to an unknown future in the USA. The fears of the elderly people. I remember people coming and saying, Dr. Andre, is it true that there are special houses for the old people in USA? I mean, there were more of questions like that, but people were very concerned, the elderly people, about their new lives and whether they would be able to manage. Also, that is so typical for your culture. I remember the oldest son of a family who wanted to start a new life with his family in USA, but his older parents wanted to go back to Laos, and he still was willing to go. He said, I'm the eldest son, I will take care of my parents. At the end, they did move to USA, but it's a beautiful part of your culture, respect for the elderly and for the leaders. It's in fact the kind of social security and social cohesion that we have lost to some extent in our countries. And of course, we remember like a photograph those days at the central soccer field where families left for the Panatnikom transition camp, and the expectation and the hope, but also the crying, the sadness and fear, because families and friends did not know whether they would ever meet again. And once you left from Thailand to Minnesota or California, France or Australia, we Farang were still very, very interested to learn how well you were doing in your new hometowns. It must have been terribly difficult for many of you who had moved from the hills of Laos, lived a couple of years in Manvinai, to start all over in a Western country with very different norms and values and a very different lifestyle. Gradually we got more and more information about the way you adapted. Of course, we learned that not everything was easy during the early years of resettlement. Hard work, low income, poor housing, and some of you were so honest to share also some misconduct. There were some people going on the wrong track, some gangs, and fortunately that was corrected soon by the leadership structure and by your social cohesion. Next, we saw the pictures of people, friends, moving from a community building into their first own house. Big step forward. We learned about people starting to study nursing or medicine or law or arts. We were able to meet old Hmong friends in the Netherlands and accompanied by their offspring, being employed as a nurse or as a medical doctor. We learned and we shared amongst each other. When we learned about great appointments, I got an important message on January 2 this year when people said, did you see the message? We got a new mayor in St. Paul, Mrs. Kaoli Her, the first Asian and the first female mayor of St. Paul. That was immediately shared in our group because we also feel that kind of pride. You may not believe it, but such a message makes us really happy. It makes my day, as we say in USA. I think if you go on like this, we will soon have our first Hmong US Congress member, or maybe even the Hmong President of the United States. That would be a great, great step forward. I come to a close. In our country, the Netherlands, many different populations entered as immigrants. And some populations, and we need to be careful because people don't want us to stigmatize, but some populations, they need 3 or 4 generations to integrate in our country. But fortunately, we also have some very ambitious ethnicities, peoples, that integrate very fast. Always the first generation is struggling to adapt, accepting huge sacrifices in order to pave the way for the second generation. No doubt, the Hmong American people are ambitious and fast integrators. It was so nicely described in that book. It also shows the quality of your artists, this book of Kau Kalia Yang, the late homecomer. And it was so nicely described how the first generation is working hard and finding a way to support the second generation to really advance their careers and to get a very good life in USA. Finally, we feel blessed to learn how well you are doing, and we strongly feel connected to your well-being and your success in USA. It feels to us as if a circle gets closed. We better understand your stories and lives in Laos, and then in the Ban Vinai refugee camp, and how you moved on to USA. That makes us so happy that it gives us a clear understanding of our own lives, of our own work, together with you in the Ban Vinai refugee camp. We are very, very grateful that you invited us to meet again. And I'm sure that we will have wonderful conversations and meetings with many of you. Thanks so much for inviting us. I know in USA people often say, God bless America. Let me adapt this and say, God bless all of you and all of this wonderful American Hmong people.